Yeah, okay. So you should see Inductions 2.0. So, as Phil mentioned, my name is Michael. I've actually been with WHS Systems since 2013, and am now in the position of Technology and Operations Officer. So you mightn't have heard of me before, but here I am. And yeah, mostly I look after the development team and work with Phil on the new features and upgrades going into the system. So as Phil mentioned, we have updated the inductions module. And basically what we've tried to do is preserve as much as what was there already, but just try and provide you guys with a bit more power to do things more quickly, make it a bit more stable, and just give you guys that control. So we'll go through that. Why did we actually develop the question? We had a number of really great requests, but we couldn't really build out further based upon the existing structure. So Phil's given me permission to kind of redevelop it from the ground up. There are a large number of calculations required for the old format, which was, you know, as people got bigger and bigger systems and more inductions in the system, and I think as Phil said, it's one of the most used sections of the system, it just caused the page to load slowly. So we fixed all that up. And users wanted a more powerful mass assign functionality, better reporting, and to have better access to historical information. So we tried to preserve as much as possible, but just update and provide a bit more power to our users. We did this by centering it all around the actual assignment of an induction. So when you turn around and say, hey Phil, you need to do this induction for me, it's all based around that activity, and we've made that activity editable. More details around it, the ability to mass assign, mass update, and also done a couple of new registers. So without any more, let's go into the system. So can you see my system up there now? Brad, do you want to wave if you can see it?
Yes, you can. Yep.
Excellent. All right. So you're going to note that this has changed a little bit from the induction matrix that you may be familiar with. In particular, we've got more outcomes here. In particular, you'll see if it's been reassigned, it has an R in front of it for reassign. So that's just indicative of the fact that someone may have already done a induction or has been reassigned through to them. And we've also got PC, which stands for previously completed as well. So we can see a lot more information in this, and that comes back to people asking me time and time again, hey, how come this has got this particular scenario? So it gives them a lot more visibility over what's happening there. Now, you'll notice that this screen here hasn't changed. So again, you've got all the old ways of doing things. So if you're familiar and if you're happy with how it worked previously, there shouldn't be too much of a change for you. Okay. But if we go across to one of the new sections here, so this is every single assignment that has been set out in my system. I can do a lot of searching by different people here, but because Mary's with us right now, I might actually pick her. I can just select her. Then all of a sudden, I'm seeing all of Mary's active assignments here, and I can see the outcome and I can print that out. But more so, what I couldn't do last time is look at both the active and the inactive ones as well. So what this is showing me is for the infection control training, she's actually been assigned it several times here, and she's completed the last one here. So I can see that, and it's a full history of what she's actually done all the way through. All right. And then so that's for the actual assignments. Now, if I wanted to look at every single time that Mary has attempted an induction, I've got that visibility as well. So every single time that... Sorry, someone talking there?
Yeah.
So every time an induction was attempted,
Gary Bella.
this is in the list here. All right. Now we can see this all really
I'm
quickly.
already on the CC. I'm already on the CC there. So if you just do a reply all.
Can you just mute that person? Hang on.
All right.
Okay, sorry about that, guys. So this is the induction attempts here, and we can see that that's all in this register here. So we've got a lot more visibility over the data which is going into our system. All right. So let's go into, you'll see that there's been an update to the induction register. Now this is where you build all of your inductions. And what's changed here is we can actually set this QR code to public, and you can do, anyone can actually do this induction. So if you've got your smartphone out, if anyone wants to actually scan that code, you can go ahead and do that. So if you've got your smartphone out, please go ahead and scan that one. And then I'll show you where that goes into the system. So this is really good if you have got a site and people coming onto your site, and there just might be a very quick induction that you want them to do as they're coming on your site. There's hundreds of different applications of this. So what we find is when someone has done a induction through a public QR code, it goes into the guest inductions. And I can see that here's one I prepared earlier. Someone just did it and didn't put their name in, which is fine. So we accept everything. We can see that Marie has done this one here, but actually logged in, so I can approve it. But what's really good is I can now come into this item. Firstly, I can view it and make sure it's got all the information in there, what happened. But then I can actually assign it to myself in the system as well. And I can assign that as a new assignment as well. So that's just like me assigning the induction to myself and then assigning the completed induction to that assignment. So that's quite powerful as well. All right. Other than that, what am I going to go through next? Okay, probably one of the most powerful features to go into the induction upgrade is the ability to mass assign and update inductions. So I was just doing this for a client the other day, and in the space of about 5 minutes, I was able to assign over 700 inductions to different people, and do that quite easily. So I can filter. So down here, I've got all the employees in my system. Now I'm the global admin set to the global site, so I'm seeing everyone there, but I can filter by site or a number of positions there. And then this is going to filter accordingly. So if I've got a new induction going out to a forklift driver and a warehouse manager, I can just select as many positions as I want there, and it's going to pick up anyone associated with those positions and also by that site. So very quickly, I can get the employees I want. I can pick the individual inductions that I want these people to do. I can assign/reassign. I can activate, archive, edit, or manually update. So these are very, very powerful tools. If you guys have the time, please do go ahead and take a look at it. What I would say, this is the review date. So at that point in time, they need to be resitting the induction. So I'll leave that as blank for now. And I'm going to set the due date for 2 weeks from today. Now, this is sort of bulletproof in how I've designed this, because when I do that, it gives me every single combination of employee and induction. And then it tells me what the outcome is going to be when I do it. So I might say, okay, Phil's already done chain of responsibility and contractor induction here. So I don't want to reassign that to him because, you know, that's still pretty good. So I can go through, and so I just want to be assigning these 4 ones because he hasn't done the induction J1. And Jessica Rabbit hasn't done any of those inductions, so it goes through for absolutely everything so I can review it. And if I click on next, it gives me the option on whether I want to email them or not as well. So you may want to set all the inductions and not email someone, or you might want to do it. It's completely up to you. So I can select all, unselect all, whatever you'd like, and hit submit, and that will update them. So that's probably the most powerful feature of its type that's gone into this system. And yeah, that's that's what's live now in your system. Look, while I've got you here, I would also like to go through the staging server with you really quickly and just show you something else which is coming in, and that's similar views for both contractors and volunteers. Now, this is my staging server, so I apologize ahead of time if a developer is going to be pushing something up or something's going to break. So this is where we kind of test everything before it goes live into your system. So for the contractors, I can see this induction assignments page just for my contractor workers, and that gives me a very good outcome from it. And similarly, also what I can do is for my volunteers, I can see a similar thing. Okay, so that should be going into your system quite shortly. Now, there is a lot of turnaround time on QAing this stuff, if you can imagine how very complex it is. But I hope that something like that is going to be in your system within the next week or so. Phil, did you want to go through the the corporate risk now?
Yeah, I will. So so what I'll do, if you unshare your screen, I'll share mine.
Yep.
All right, let me know if you can see my screen.
Yep.
Got it? All right. So it's, a while ago, we actually put the risk manager inside the system, and we actually, highlighted it in that field, but then we actually put it down there for a while just to make a couple of little changes. So those changes are literally now done, and it will be live in the system in the next few weeks. But this, the kind of major thing, you've got your hazard register, but this is corporate risk. And this will be a big feature, especially for a lot of companies that really need to, or going for kind of, ISO compliance and also wanting bigger contracts. So you'll have your risk title. You can actually here select a risk category. We've actually preloaded some categories and some subcategory. So it's, but these fields here, and this kind of feature will come through the system more and more in the development going forward, where you'll be able to add to your list or subtract from that list. So it makes it more flexible for you actually using the system. You've got your objectives, but the big feature is literally the matrix. And you're probably thinking to yourself, what a fantastic looking matrix. Isn't that magnificent? The reason why that looks like that, over the years, I've really been sick of people going, I don't use that matrix, I use this matrix. So imagine having the ability where you can actually select edit, and you can now build your own matrix. You can even build your own color. You can actually even do your rating score. You can insert columns, you can insert rows, you can delete rows, you can delete columns. So there will be a nice preloaded one, obviously, but if I select, say for an example, reputational risk, see how it actually changes for every risk that I actually select. So looking at what this means is that you'll be able to create your nice risk matrix depending on what risk category that you've actually done. So yes, there will be a step-by-step help guide actually taking you through that, as well as a couple of videos, but this will be a very, very big feature for anyone wanting to do corporate risk. And I'm just going to highlight a couple of things that Michael went over with the new induction builder, and something that I've always wanted inside the system, and now we've actually made that happen. When I come to the induction builder here, and of course you can build your induction just like you've previously done. We've actually just updated these icons here because it was confusing people with the two view icons and so forth. So obviously you're going to edit your inductions here. So you can actually view the entire process and print them out if you want to do, or preview your induction that you've actually built so you can actually see what it's like. But the big feature now inside the system, other than inducting people via the matrix and doing the normal induction, yes, when you print out this QR code, previously when you printed out that QR code and you selected on these icons, they couldn't really do the induction. So, but now you actually print out that QR code, and I'll give an example for ASCO Engineering, where I've been to down in Mildura with Brad. He's got this massive machine that bends and the metal to make all these big winery vats, all the wineries down there. So that machine would probably be as big as your office, so maybe bigger. And if you got anything wrong there, it would literally cut off your arm and kill you. So the idea here is that you could technically, no matter what business you're in, you can videotape yourself, upload it to a YouTube channel. So if you need to know how to actually create your own YouTube channel, please don't hesitate to contact us. We can actually show you what to do. So the concept, videotape yourself doing the pre-start checklist or whatever it may be, or the safety, it might even be site safety coming onto a site of that kind of, whatever it may be. This is what you do. You wear this, check this, check this, check this. So when they scan the QR code, it's bringing up a video induction of you actually showing them how to actually use this machine safely, as well as do the pre-start checklist. And then they can actually go through and do that. And as Michael said, it'll save it into their records and you do it a certain way. Again, there'll be a new step-by-step process on how to do that. And I'll be building a specific video relating to that literal process where you can build your own tutorials, place that QR code on the machine, put a sign above it, you must scan this QR code before use of this machine. Plays a video on the safe use of that machine, and then they can actually scan the QR code next to it, which will allow them to do, say, a pre-start checklist or whatever it may be that you've assigned there. So very, very powerful, and it's a great way for you to actually show that you haven't just inducted in people via the induction matrix, which obviously this is what this webinar is about, the induction matrix and inducting people in your safe work processes and everything you need to do. But this is something just takes it up to the next level. So if something did happen, it's a great way to protect your business of how did you actually provide a safe workplace for that worker using that machine. Oh yes, we inducted them, but no, we did this on top of this. They can actually scan a QR code and actually watch a short little kind of tutorial that you've created yourself on how to use that machine safely. So I hope you like this new feature. If you do have any questions, or you go, I still don't know how to use this system, please do not hesitate, obviously, to go to our website and then log into, book a training session. As you know, we're always available to actually do that, so you can book in that, and we can actually take you through in more detail how to get that feature. But there is some other really good kind of sections coming inside the system. We're just actually having a forum with some of the major clients where we'll be actually updating, as I mentioned before, this incident module to really take it to the next level. It'll still keep that simplicity and process within the system, which I'll never lose, but it will actually be able to do far more things. We've got some other features, as I mentioned before, with the checklist feature where we're adding a score component. So it'll actually give you that quality kind of control inside the system, and the risk manager. And the other big news is that we've actually started our offline version. It should be available at the end of March. So if you are in remote areas and you're wanting, say, for an example, to use the app, obviously the app won't have every single process inside the system here, but it's going to have all the major features that you need and you use all the time. So yeah, I'll be putting this up in the help section. Thank you for turning up. I hope you liked the new upgrade. As you know, we're constantly upgrading the system to make it the best it can be. And we've got lots of plans coming through next year to take it to the next level. Hope you enjoyed that. And Michael, well done. So it's fantastic upgrade. You've done a great job. Thanks, everybody.